think you're going to be teaching today? Would you like to say hi to everyone? You want to say hello? Maybe give a high five to everyone. Say, you're doing great. Right? We're going into week 6. Say goodbye. Good girl. Hey you guys, I decided to take my intros into a different direction this week, as you saw. I decided I couldn't top that level of cringe, so I'm going to take a break week and go with pure cuteness. So that was a little visit from Molly, my Labradoodle, and also one of the big sources of joy over these past few weeks for me. So I hope that she brought you a little bit of joy as well. I also hope that this past Sunday that you had a good Mother's Day. Now I know that Mother's Day looks different for every family, and so I just want to read off something that I read this weekend that I thought was great. So, sending big love for this past Mother's Day to those who've lost their mothers, mothers who've lost their children, single mothers, those without mothers, mothers who have adopted kids or kids who have been adopted, those without connections to their mothers, and mothers without connection to their kids, those with 2 mothers, those unable to have kids, all the mothers who are homeschooling right now, and mothers out there who are struggling, mothers out there who are thriving, kids who are struggling, and kids who are thriving. I know that Mother's Day looks a little bit different to everyone, and I hope that whatever your circumstances, that you took some time to reflect and to enjoy those around you and thank those mother figures in your lives. And with that, we are going to get into some housekeeping. So this past week, the passion project kind of evolved a little bit into a suggestion from Brady in grade 9. He put his passion project into a slide, and I was like, this might make the most sense for all of us to be able to create a slide, and then you can have your own individualized slide. I've shared it with all of you. If you are unable to access it, please let me know and I'll reshare. It's also been shared with the principals at the school who are interested in helping, and I want to give a big thank you to Mrs. Stuckless and Mrs. Stalker, who are also helping out with the passion project and assisting students that are getting that done. I've extended it to the end of this week so that we can continue to work on it, because I know some of you have been saying, like, I just didn't have the time. Could we have a bit more time for that? Absolutely. It says on the first slide, just to be sure that you are sticking to your own slide, you're not editing anyone else's. Regardless, I will be able to see the edits and change it back if that is the case. So let me know if by accident you have moved somebody's slide around and are concerned. I can bring it back to the original document. And also, it says on here on the second slide, the prompts that you could follow while you're filling out your slide. So what do you like most about high school? Or what do you like most about St. James? What are some of your favorite memories so far? What do you like about high school that you didn't get to do in elementary? Okay. And I have said, feel free to add any images that you have from this previous year for my grade 9s, or from the previous years for my grade 11s that are working on it. I'm seeing some great photos, and as long as they are appropriate, yeah, absolutely feel free to export ones from Snapchat and upload them to Google Drive. So your expectations for this week are your Google form, your discussion. We have part 2 of the dietitian discussion that you're going to interact with. We also have the activity journal that you're going to continue posting in every single day, and then your Padlet that you're going to interact with this week. You'll also see on your breakdown for this week that I included, and in your Google Forms, that I included a little piece about the Zoom call this week and what it's going to look like. So on Wednesday, we are going to be having something similar to what you'd see in college or university. It's going to be more of an office hours Zoom call. So I'll be on there, and I'll send out, like always, 10 minutes before the call, I'll send out the ID, the link, and the password. However you get onto Zoom, I'll send that stuff out on email and on our D2L. And During that hour, I will be on Zoom to chat about any questions that you might have, to talk about any barriers that you are running into while you are working on your work, and also just to chat amongst you and your classmates. I would love to spend some time again sharing our lemons and our lemonade from the previous week. It's something that we do in our department staff meetings, and something that I think is so great to share as well with you guys. So your lemons are, again, things that you might be struggling with, and your lemonade are things that you've either struggled with and now are excelling at, or things that are bringing you joy, whether that's school related or otherwise. I think it's just a good time to reconnect with your classmates, and I like to see you too. So expectation 1 is your Google form. Just like every week, the link is both on the D2L and on the suggested classwork breakdown. Make sure that that is handed in on or filled out on either the Monday or the Tuesday of every week. For next week, because it's another 4-day week with a long weekend, it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday. But it's really important that it's those first 2 days, because you will get, and some of you have, an email partway through the week from me if you haven't filled that out, just because I need to check in and make sure that you're doing all right, and see if there's any way that I can help you and help get that feedback from the week previous, so I know how you're doing. Your second expectation is to go in the D2L discussions and to respond to Dietitian reflection number 2 under the week 6 discussions. So we filmed the second part of the video this past week. It focuses on questions related to the athlete in terms of your diet, and then COVID-19 diet questions. And so if you click on the hyperlink in the D2L discussion, you will then be responding and saying what the one thing is that you already knew that was reaffirmed in the video, and then one piece of information that you learned from the video, and you're replying to 2 of your peers. 2 of your peers. 2. Got it. Your third expectation is to continue to write in your activity journal every day this week. Again, just a reminder for some of you, if you're working out on the weekend and you want that to count as one of the 5 days, then you can go in and edit your dates. And it helps, I find that it helps the most to write right after I've done my workout, just to keep myself on top of it each day, and then to post in the Padlet as well. That's an easy way to get all the expectations done early in the week, but if you have a different way that works for you, that's great as well. Just a little insight. The final expectation is to post in the Padlet. You are doing a minimum of 2 posts per week. This past week, I saw some better evidence, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see that improve. I saw some people taking their activity very seriously, their photos very seriously. I even saw in the discussion some people taking some primo photos for the Hope with Catholic Education Week. Love to see it. Love to see it. Brightens my week, but also I don't think we're aware of how much it can brighten our classmates' weeks as well. When you put effort into the work that you do and you're in or on a platform like we are in our class for the Padlet and in the discussion, that numerous people can see your posts. I just think it's such a good way to share joy if you actually put the time in and do a good job, and then other people can also look at your Padlet or your Padlet post and say, you know what, that actually looks like they had a good time. I'm also going to do that workout. Or that looks like some solid planking form in the Padlet. I'm going to do the same. Or I don't know that we all have horses, but Trinity, I really appreciate that content as well. So happy to see some more faces in the Padlet posts, and happy to see that we're interacting with it more online. That's fantastic. Also, can we just talk about for a second how difficult some of the challenges have been in the Padlet? I don't know if you're trying them. I hope that you are. But this last week was even a reminder for me that I need to get off my screen and into my driveway, onto my garage, and practice my dribbling and go on a run. And I just feel like as the weather gets nicer, it's going to be enjoyable to focus on those parts of our course. And even when I was filming the TikTok ball handling video, like, although it was a challenge, it was so fun. So I highly suggest, this week is another TikTok challenge, I highly suggest trying it out if you can, and putting that in as one of your Padlet ideas, because if you're now getting a little bit sick of the repetition of, I've been on a walk, I don't want to go on another walk, it's a good way to switch it up. And in our breakdown of our workouts this week, we also have posts inspired by Floyd, by Madison Kay, by Bella. They're all different types of workouts, and I suggest trying them. And if it's not the one for you, click on a different one. It's a good way to switch things up and keep you excited about working out. And that this week is all. So I will be chatting with you, whether it's on gratitude shares or in our Zoom call this week. I look forward to hopefully seeing you there. If not, if you can't make it, but you want to and you want to hear how it goes, you can feel free to message me and I'll send you a summary afterwards of some frequently asked questions. So reach out if you need it. If not, have a fantastic week. Is everybody on a roll right now? Is everybody on a roll? Down. Show them how easy it is. Good girl. Look at you. Yes. So you got this, right? Sit. You got this. High fives all around. Very cute. You are so cute.